Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. I have to tell you, this offseason was already packed with questions and uncertainties around the New York Giants. Coming into this year, there was a bit of a cloud hanging over the team's head, right? Expectations weren't exactly sky-high after a tough 2024 season, and many fans felt that the Giants needed a serious shakeup to turn things around. But what's truly fascinating is the recent news that's been buzzing around the NFL circles, something that could shake up the entire NFC East, and more specifically, the Giants' roster and their potential for a deep playoff run. And it's not just speculation. It's something that could redefine the division and give the Giants a real shot at climbing back into Super Bowl contention. So here's the scoop. The Seattle Seahawks, a team that's been looking to reshape their roster, especially at the running back position, has been involved in some interesting trade talks. And the star of this story is none other than Kenneth Walker, a guy who's shown flashes of brilliance but might be on the move soon. This isn't just a rumor, it's rooted in serious NFL analysis and recent reports from insiders. As of now, the Seahawks are contemplating trading Walker, and the team that's been most heavily linked to him is the New York Giants. Why? Well, it all comes down to the evolving landscape of the NFL and how teams are looking to optimize their rosters for a playoff push. Let's back up a bit and understand the context here. Coming into 2025, the Giants weren't exactly the favorite to dominate the NFC. There was plenty of skepticism, especially considering their roster and some of the struggles they faced last season. The quarterback situation was a concern. With Russell Wilson now leading the Seahawks and Jackson Dart still developing, many fans and analysts doubted the Giants' ability to contend. Still, football is a game of surprises, and 2 weeks into the season, the Giants already managed to score 37 points against the Dallas Cowboys, which was an impressive showing, even if their record remains at 0-2. That's right, despite the offensive fireworks, the team's overall record isn't where they want it to be, and that's why moves like this potential trade become even more critical. Now, let's take a look at the core of this story, the trade idea that was floated back in August by Marissa Myers. She suggested that the Seahawks should consider trading Kenneth Walker to the Giants, and at the time, it was just an idea. But with the benefit of hindsight and a couple of weeks into the season, it makes a lot more sense. Why? Because Walker has been pushed down the depth chart in Seattle. Charbonnet, the young running back drafted to be the future, has taken more carries and shown that he's a key piece of the Seahawks' offense. And Helani, the third back, hasn't even touched the ball yet this season. So the Seahawks are in a position where they might be open to trading Walker, especially if they're concerned about his upcoming free agency in 2026. Let me break down what makes this trade so intriguing from the Giants' perspective. First off, the Giants could really use a boost at the running back position. The room has potential, no doubt, but they don't have a proven star like Walker in their current roster. Cam Scatibo, for example, has yet to prove himself, and while Zach Charbonnet has been solid, he's dealing with a foot injury that's questionable for the upcoming games. That injury concern adds a layer of complexity to this trade talk. If the Seahawks are hesitant to part ways with Walker because they're unsure about Charbonnet's health, then this trade might be delayed or even fall through. But if the Seahawks see Walker as a valuable asset and want to add him to their roster, especially with the season already underway, then the Giants could be the perfect trade partner, even if it's just a speculative move at this point. And here's where it gets even more interesting, the financial and strategic implications. Walker is set to be a free agent in 2026, meaning the Seahawks might want to cash in on him now rather than risk losing him for nothing next offseason. That puts the Giants in a prime position to acquire a proven talent without giving up too much, especially since Seattle's depth chart has shifted. But again, the Giants aren't exactly a Super Bowl favorite right now. Their odds to win the title are around plus 35000, according to FanDuel, which is quite low. That suggests they're still in rebuilding mode, or at least not considered prime contenders. So, acquiring a player like Walker might seem like a move for the future, but it could also be a way to spark their offense and make a serious push in the NFC. Now, let's talk about the current state of the Giants' backfield. Charbonnet has been getting more carries, 27 so far compared to Walker's 23, so it's clear the team is leaning on him. But the problem is that Charbonnet's health is uncertain right now due to that foot injury, and if he's unable to go, the Giants could find themselves in a bind. That's why adding Walker, who has proven he can produce at a high level, could be a game changer for them. Imagine Walker stepping into the lineup, providing that explosive element that the Giants desperately need. His rookie season stats were pretty impressive: over 150 rushing yards, a 4.6 yards per carry average, and 9 touchdowns in just 15 games. Those numbers show what he's capable of, and even in a smaller sample size so far in 2025, he's averaging 5.4 yards per carry with 1 touchdown in just 2 games. But what about the Seahawks? Well, they're in a different spot. They're considering trading Walker because they want to see how Charbonnet develops, especially if Charbonnet gets healthy soon. Right now, Charbonnet is listed as doubtful, meaning he's dealing with that foot injury. The Seahawks might prefer to hold onto Walker if they believe he can be a key part of their plans, especially with the season still in its early stages. But if the Seahawks decide that they're better off trading Walker, especially to a team like the Giants that's looking to make a splash, then this could be a win-win for both sides. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The NFC East has always been a competitive division, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. If the Giants manage to pull off a trade for Walker and integrate him successfully, it could give them a serious boost on offense, making their run to the playoffs more formidable. Imagine a backfield with Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, two dynamic runners who can complement each other perfectly. The Giants' offensive line, which has been a work in progress, could finally get that extra push needed to open holes and create explosive plays. It's not just about adding a star, it's about reshaping the team's identity and giving Daniel Jones a more potent offensive weapon. Speaking of Daniel Jones, he's been under a lot of pressure. His contract situation was a big story this offseason, and many fans have been eager to see if he can finally take that next step and lead the team to consistent victories. A strong running game could be exactly what he needs to take some of the pressure off his arm and extend drives. With Walker's ability to break off big runs, the Giants' offense could become much more dynamic, especially in critical third-down situations or when trying to close out games. The potential chemistry between Jones and Walker, if this trade happens, could be a catalyst for a more confident and explosive offense. Now, I know what some of you might be wondering: what's the realistic timeline for this move? Well, with the trade deadline approaching and teams always looking to tweak their rosters, it's entirely possible we see some movement in the coming weeks. The Seahawks might want to see how Charbonnet's foot injury heals, but if they decide that a change is needed, Walker could be on his way to the Giants sooner rather than later. And for the Giants, adding a player of Walker's caliber would be a statement. They're not just rebuilding, they're rearming for a serious playoff push. In the bigger picture, this potential trade is part of a broader NFL trend: teams valuing short-term impact players who can help them win now, especially when they're on the cusp of the postseason. Running backs like Walker, who are in the last year of their contract, are prime trade targets because teams see them as immediate upgrades, even if the long-term plan isn't fully clear. For the Giants, acquiring Walker could send a message to their division rivals that they're serious about contending sooner rather than later. It could also shake up the NFC East, forcing the Eagles and Cowboys to reevaluate their strategies. And let's not forget, this isn't just about one player or one trade. It's about the entire philosophy of how teams are trying to build their rosters: more aggressive, more strategic, and willing to take risks to grab that extra edge. The Giants, with their recent offensive struggles, could use that spark, and Walker might just be the piece they need. If they manage to pull this off, it could be a turning point for their franchise. Imagine the scene: Walker running hard, breaking tackles, and helping the Giants re-establish their identity as a tough, physical team that can compete with the best. Now, I want to wrap this up by emphasizing that all of this is still in the realm of speculation. Nothing's official yet. But the signs point to a very interesting possibility, and Giants fans should be paying close attention. This kind of move could redefine their season, push them back into the playoff picture, and even set the stage for a memorable run that could end in Super Bowl glory. Remember, NFL seasons are long, full of surprises, and sometimes it's a single trade or signing that can change everything. So keep your eyes on the news, stay tuned for updates, and get ready for what could be a very exciting chapter in Giants history. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think the Giants should go all in and acquire Kenneth Walker? Would that make them a real playoff threat, or do you think they should hold tight and see what develops? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and more insider info. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Thanks for watching, and let's keep the Giants spirit alive.